Welcome. This is my camera. That's yours, Jake. They can't even see me. If I look there, everybody there's going to wonder, what am I doing? Welcome to the future of Shasta. If you're watching online, thank you for your attention. I'll say it over and over and over again because most of you that are watching when Hope and Luke were here are gone. It's all new people. Don't leave us. Pay attention. We'll give you hope and optimism because Jake's here. Jake, that's your camera. And we're wide-angled there. You're actually in all three cameras. It's like all about you right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Say hello to our big digital audience, 57 Facebook and YouTube pages. They're streaming lots from Shasta County. Mm-hmm. Say hello, introduce yourself to the world, and then let's dive into some questions.
Okay. I'm Jake Mangus, and I'm really grateful that you're tuning in right now where you are. And tuning in is an old term, but I come from a television family and had a background in media arts. So when I came in and I saw all of the sound and the 3-camera shoot and the production and everything, very impressive. I mean, this is a major production, so we're grateful for you shedding some positive light on the community of Redding.
Yeah, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad to be here. This is going to be an interesting talk for me because I don't have any idea what you're going to say.
That makes two of us, so that's the best part of it all.
You are the only person I have not hugged many times and told I love you. The other 5 know how much I love them. I'm going to love you.
Okay. We'll work toward it.
Just in advance, I'm going to have faith that I love you. I love you so much, Jake.
Thank
in
you,
the future.
Ian. I love you too.
Thank you. I think what you do here is important. I think chambers are important. I think community is important. I think that your success is the beginning of something very, very grand. And I don't know that you even see how special it is. What I feel for you as the Chamber of Commerce CEO, president, is like a person playing with Bitcoin when it was less than $100. The reason I feel that way is because of what I know Shasta is going to become. And you're like that person that is working on the economy and working on businesses when it's hard and it's a grind and there's no absolute proven future yet. And you're going to be part. And what the people that have $10,000 Bitcoins that got them at $100, as a business leader, I think you're going to feel that way. That's my opinion about you based on what I've heard and your success. So let's dive into the question. Okay. If absolutely anything is possible, what do you think Shasta County can become in 10 years? Take us to a fantasy land.
Okay, well, I really appreciated what we've heard already from Hope and from Luke. Great insights, and I would definitely concur with their grand vision and optimism for our community. I certainly see the quality of life that we enjoy in Redding, and I've said this a number of times actually. As much as the river, the lakes, the mountains, I think that it's the people that are our greatest asset when it comes to our quality of life. And having grown up in this community, that's what I appreciate the most. I think that as the economy continues to change, consumer behavior changes, we have these opportunities to start companies wherever we want, as long as you got an internet connection, basically.
It's amazing.
We can make the case that Redding is a beautiful place to be in so many ways, from that physical stuff that we talk about. The people that exist here are that magnet that attracts that talent. And I think, I see us continuing to grow. We're at a point where we are really ready to launch, I think. California, the population continues to increase in this state, and this is one of the rare parts of our state where it's affordable to live and to work, and certainly a fun place to play. So I see all of those things. It's just kind of more of a general thought. I mean, I certainly see the opportunity that exists with our riverfront. I think about Sacramento, meaning sacrament, and a sacrament being a gift, and it's this gift flowing right through the middle of our community. It's such a great metaphor to me, and an analogy for what is right before our eyes, ever flowing, and just that river of hope that's right there too. So
I love that.
So I do see Redding as I'm bullish on Redding. I remember meeting with Rachel Hatch a couple of years ago when it was announced that I was going to take on this role, and she said she wanted to get to know me, and she said, "Well, what do you think about Redding?" And I said, "I'm bullish on Redding, California. I think that this is the right time to be in this role, and I take it just the responsibility so seriously,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't be more fortunate to be in this community at this time.
I love that. That's
Yep.
good. Inspiration. I'd like to ask you that you would talk about a person that inspires you that you don't think anybody knows about in this room. The unknown, maybe the outcast, or maybe the deceased, or maybe the youth that nobody would ever even consider. I believe that you can see the best in people and organizations. It's why you're running the chamber. Tell us about somebody that you're just like lit up about right now.
Well, I think that many generations, that's for sure. I mean, we've got this coming together of so many generations in business right now. And I did see an article in Forbes.com, actually, that was talking about the baby boomers retiring, that you've got more than half of baby boomers retiring right now and in the next couple of years. And at the same time, you've got this millennial generation that's going to represent 3/4 of the workforce before too long. So in my previous profession, working in fundraising and development for Catholic charities locally, we talked about it as this transference of wealth that was taking place from one generation to the next. Well, I consider in the business world, it's more this transference of leadership that we're seeing take place. So we've got to recognize those that have gone before us in this community and take as much wisdom as we can from them and invite them to be a part of the brighter future for our community. And then also to recognize the emerging talent and to take advantage of that as well, that it takes all of us. I mean, I think about mentors that I've had, and yes, a couple of them are deceased. I think about a guy named Don Chapman, who was a longtime banker in this community and was involved in forest products. And he's the kind of guy that you get referred to say, you know, you need to sit down with Don and spend at least an hour, you know, every week with Don and just listen to him tell you stories. It's so many life lessons that exist there. But I'm on fire about so many things in Reading, and I get inspired every day. I get inspired by the person that's able to walk down the street huddled around a blanket and a sleeping bag and find a reason to get up in the morning, as much as I'm inspired by all of the exciting conversation that you hear at the Tide House, which I call my conference room because I still get Wi-Fi there, or at one of the coffee shops in downtown Reading. Downtown is such an important part of our community. I think, as I had said recently, that a downtown is to a community as a heart is to the body. So we're only as healthy as our heart, really. So that's why we're focusing on our core right now, to see a Daniel Knott at K2, to see McConnell Foundation focusing for the next 10 years on downtown. Those are things I didn't anticipate when we moved the chamber to downtown Reading after being in a long-term home for decades. Wow. Because I grew up in the shadow of downtown. Wow. I mean, I remember I was just thinking about how I passed the jail all the time, and it was just part of my neighborhood, you know? And I remember coming down to the old downtown mall, and my parents who grew up here too, telling me about the old days when we had Main Street USA, and we want to get back to that, that idyllic 1950s kind of nostalgia where you got the corner drugstore and you've got this center of commerce. That experience that we heard earlier, that's what gives us an opportunity in the future, that even though we see a Kmart close, which is a sad thing for a Chamber of Commerce to see, other more big box type stores that are struggling, but it's that unique boutique experience that we can create in our local community that can still draw people away from their tablets and cell phones and come into the store and have that great experience. So that was a long filibuster, sorry.
That's great. We have just less than 2 minutes left, and you have a very significant request as the person that runs the Chamber of Commerce. Before you make that final request, I want to ask you the same thing. Look at the camera, and before you kind of talk to the audience, like, give them a moment of your attention. Like, there are all these YouTube and Facebook pages, locally and from all around the world. They're watching you right now. They will watch the archive. You have one thing to say. What if it's your last big thing that you get to say to the internet? What do you say? Like, what is it that you want to express to them? Because what if the internet shuts down?
Yeah.
You lose all electricity.
I know,
Not
because
if you
I was
die.
going to say go Giants, but that's kind of more of a canned thing for me because I just
But really,
love the San Francisco
yeah.
Giants.
What do you have to say to the world?
To me, what I would like to say to the world about Redding, California, is that this is a community that has an amazing potential, and that we've got this coming together of people that are new to our community and those that have been longtime residents. The longtime residents, sometimes we don't hold our heads up as high as we should because we think for some reason we're not worthy of great things. And I think that just as we can be inspired by the rising mountains to our west and to our north and to our east and the river that runs through, we can be inspired by the economic opportunity that exists here, that quality of life that exists in the people of Redding, California, that you'll help that old woman across the street kind of a feeling. You know somebody at the grocery store and you genuinely care about what's going on in their family, that we want to see each other succeed, knowing that everyone's success will help us all to rise, and we want all of our expectations about what's possible in this community to rise because those are endless.
I love that. Well, out of respect for the rest of the speakers, we're going to wrap. Everybody, Jake is here to serve you. He's here to help you and your family thrive. Don't just be a person that hears about what he does or watches your friends or neighbors take advantage of his service. He's here for you. His infrastructure is here for you. Take advantage of it. That's my call to action for you to lean on Jake. Jake, thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ian.
Appreciate it.
Hey, that was a hug, man. We're getting there.
That was a hug.
The Chamber of Commerce is in the business of a thriving community.
So good.
Thank you.